Imagine a world where your job, your livelihood, your reason for waking up each morning simply vanishes. Not because you were fired, not because of a bad economy, but because a machine, a line of code, now does your work better, faster, and cheaper than any human ever could. This isn't science fiction. It's a silent revolution already underway. And what they're not telling you is how close we are to its terrifying culmination. To understand the true scope of this coming change, we need to peel back the layers of popular narratives and journey back to the very origins of automation. For decades, the public has been told a comforting lie. Automation creates more jobs than it destroys. This adage has been trotted out by economists, politicians, and business leaders alike, a mantra designed to quell anxiety while simultaneously pushing forward a relentless march of technological progress. They'd point to the agricultural revolution, where machines freed laborers to work in factories, or the industrial revolution, where new technologies birthed entirely new industries. But what if those historical precedents are no longer relevant? What if this time it's fundamentally different? Even as far back as the early 20th century, brilliant minds like John Maynard Keynes grappled with what he termed technological unemployment, a phenomenon where the speed of technological innovation outpaces society's capacity to find new uses for displaced labor. He saw it as a temporary phase, a malady of growth, but his foresight hints at a discomforting truth we've largely ignored. The advent of the computer age, then the internet, and now artificial intelligence hasn't just built new industries. It's begun to systematically dismantle existing ones from the inside out. We've become accustomed to the idea that physical labor is under threat, that factory workers and truck drivers face an uncertain future. But what if the next, more insidious wave is coming for everyone else? The hidden truth is, this isn't just about robots on assembly lines anymore. The true revolution, the one that's being downplayed and obscured, is happening in the digital realm, in the quiet hum of servers and the intricate algorithms of artificial intelligence. While the public was distracted by the prospect of self-driving cars, AI was quietly infiltrating every white-collar profession imaginable. Law firms are using AI to sift through mountains of legal documents for discovery in minutes, a task that once took teams of paralegals weeks. Financial institutions are deploying AI to analyze market trends and execute trades with a speed and precision no human could ever hope to match, rendering countless analysts redundant. In medicine, AI is diagnosing diseases from scans with greater accuracy than human doctors, and in journalism, AI is already writing basic reports, sports summaries, and financial analyses. Even creative fields once thought immune are feeling the chill. AI can now generate convincing art, write compelling short stories, and compose original music. It's not just automating tasks, it's automating entire job functions, entire careers that were once considered the bastions of human intellect and creativity. We're witnessing a slow-motion collapse of what we once defined as work. Yet it's happening behind the scenes, disguised as efficiency upgrades or enhanced productivity. The data being collected on human performance, often under the guise of improving workflows, is simultaneously training the AI that will eventually replace those very human workers. We are, in essence, contributing to our own obsolescence, meticulously feeding the beast that will consume our livelihoods. And the pace is only accelerating. Every day, new AI models are released that push the boundaries further, learning at speeds unimaginable, capable of tackling problems that were considered intractable just months prior. This isn't just about some jobs disappearing. It's about the very foundational structure of our economy, and consequently our society, being redesigned without our explicit consent or understanding. Now let's connect the dots. The escalating capabilities of AI are converging with a deeply unsettling global economic reality. For decades, corporations have been under immense pressure to maximize shareholder value, to cut costs, and to increase profits at all costs. What better way to achieve this than by replacing expensive, error-prone human labor with tireless, infinitely scalable, and increasingly intelligent AI? They don't demand salaries, benefits, or vacations. They don't unionize. They don't get sick or make mistakes. As AI becomes more sophisticated and cheaper to implement, the economic incentive to automate becomes overwhelmingly powerful. This isn't a moral choice, it's a logical one from a purely capitalistic perspective. The terrifying moment when this all becomes undeniable, unavoidable, is fast approaching. Imagine cities where the majority of office buildings stand desolate, their lights off, because the work once performed within their walls is now handled by algorithms humming quietly in distant data centers. Imagine communities devastated not by a single factory closure, but by the quiet evaporation of entire professional sectors. What happens when engineers, lawyers, doctors, artists, and writers suddenly find their skills devalued, their expertise rendered obsolete? We're not talking about a small percentage of job displacement. We're talking about a systemic, fundamental shift that could leave a majority of the population without traditional employment. What does that do to individual identity, to social cohesion, to the very fabric of society when the primary means of earning a living is no longer available to most? The institutions we've built, education, welfare, even government itself, are not equipped to handle such a seismic shift. The safety nets we currently have are designed for cyclical unemployment, for recessions, not for a permanent technological obsolescence of work itself. This is the chilling climax, the precipice we are rapidly approaching, where the promises of technological progress collide violently with the grim reality of widespread, permanent unemployment, sparking unparalleled societal unrest and a desperate scramble for an answer no one seems to have. So what then? What becomes of humanity when the fundamental act of work is largely taken away? Some foresee a utopian future where humans are freed from drudgery, allowed to pursue art, philosophy, and personal passions, sustained by universal basic income. Others paint a dystopian picture of widening inequality, mass disenfranchisement, and social breakdown, where a small elite controls the means of production and the algorithms that govern existence. The truth, perhaps, lies somewhere in between, or in a reality we're currently incapable of imagining. This isn't just an economic crisis, it's an existential one. It forces us to confront fundamental questions about purpose, value, and what it truly means to be human in a post-work world. We are at the cusp of a transformation more profound than any humanity has experienced. Will we find new meaning, forge new societal structures, and embrace a life beyond labor? Or will we crumble under the weight of obsolescence? The silence surrounding this inconvenient truth is deafening, and the answers remain elusive. The clock is ticking, and what they're not telling you is that the future, for better or worse, is almost here. If you want to dive deeper into the technologies accelerating this inevitable shift, click the link to our next video exploring the dark side of hyper-efficient AI development.